What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation, my friends. As always, thank you. I always love to start the show by thanking you all because without you, I wouldn't have the motivation, the drive to continue to push this show forward. Because look, I've received great feedback from you all. Hey, I even received the ones that dislike, the program. Hey, I still hear back from you. I still hear you, which tells me, hey, you're tuning in. So I appreciate it. Look, I want to thank you all for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. As you know, we are a growing program. We have grown our audience on a quick pace, in my opinion, on a fast pace. Not quick, but a fast pace, because every day I see, at least 2 new subscribers added to our YouTube channel. A few followers here and there on our social media platforms, and just more opportunities that are coming our way, folks reaching out to share their stories on the program. So again, I'm just grateful and just want to thank you all for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. As you know, we are a weeknight program. We air Monday through Fridays on YouTube, as well as wherever you listen to your podcast. You can check it. You can download the iHeartRadio app. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show from there, or again, all podcast platforms. Really, you can also listen to us on the radio airways if you happen to be in the Metro Atlanta area on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. That's right. The show airs Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also tune into the Arrington Gavin Show on the Goatverse TV network. Yes, my friends. Look, do me a favor if you haven't yet, download Goatverse. Go to your phone right now and go to your app store if you happen to have an iPhone, or your Google Play Store if you happen to have an Android. Download Goatverse TV app. Goatverse TV app. It's free. It's an amazing platform with amazing content. I'm not the only content or personality on this network. There's so many other great shows you can tune into, docuseries, documentaries, music videos. You get to check out some independent rising stars in the music industry, and some that just already have huge resumes. I mean, I'm fortunate to be a part of this platform. And you can also download on Roku. You can check us out on Roku through the Goatverse TV app. So if you happen to be a fan of Roku, please go get Goatverse TV, and also on Amazon Fire. So look, we are continue to broaden our audience, and we just got a lot of great stuff in store for you, my man. And I'm not saying that only men that only men tune into the program. What I meant to say, like I use dude a lot, and I could be speaking with the man and a woman. What I'm saying is, y'all, it's the real deal Holyfield is what I'm trying to tell you. We're on the cusp of really growing this program, and even revitalizing the set, which a much better effect to it, for those who tune into this program visually. And so we just, like I said, we keep on growing it. So my friends, a lot of stuff to talk about within this hour, a lot of stuff to tap into. Let me see, make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, please do me a favor. You can follow us on our social media platforms at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as Substack. You can follow us from there. Please, if you happen to be a fan of any of those or on any of those platforms, please follow the Arrington Gavin Show. Also, like, give us a thumbs up at the bottom if you're watching us on YouTube. Leave us a comment. Give us a like. If you listen to us via podcast, give us 5 stars. I truly appreciate it. Give us some great reviews. We truly appreciate that. What else do we got going on? Did I remember? Did I say? I mentioned everything. All right. Look, let's get it going with our fun fact of the day before we get going in with the show. On today's fun fact, did you all know that water, all right, that water can boil and freeze at the same time. All right. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. At the same time. All right. No, too much. All right. It says here this phenomenon called the triple point occurs when temperature and pressure are just right for the three phases gas, liquid, solid to coexist. Brings up the triple point. So you're welcome. You learn something new every day. You learn something new every day here on the Arrington Gavin Show. You're welcome. You're welcome. Before we move forward, I do have to shout out some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Ingenious Gin. That's right, Ingenious Gin. Let's get it going with our shout out to one of our proud supporters. Says here, looking for a spirit as bold and refined as you. Introducing Ingenious Gin, crafted with precision, infused with exotic botanicals, and balanced for the perfect sip every time. Whether you're savoring it neat, mixing the ultimate gin and tonic, or shaking up a classic cocktail, Ingenious Gin is your ticket to a moment of pure sophistication. Experience ingenuity in every drop. Find Ingenious Gin at your favorite store, or you can shop online today. Please, you have to be 21 or over in order to purchase, and make sure to drink responsibly. Look, my friends, Ingenious Gin is a Black-owned, veteran-owned gin. I want to thank them for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show. My friends, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll get it going with some of our topics. Don't go anywhere. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Welcome back to the show, my friends. I am your host, your homie Arrington Gavin. Thank you for staying with us. Look, let's get it going with our first story. I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but look, for all of our brothers and sisters of the LGBTQI plus community, I just want to give you a heads up. Iowa is not the state for you. All right, Iowa is not the state for you. What I mean by that, specifically, I'm speaking to the folks in the trans community. Iowa recently, let me go ahead and bring up this graphic, because Iowa recently just signed a bill. The Iowa governor recently signed a bill removing gender identity from state civil rights protections. Okay, so let me go ahead and kind of dissect to explain that a little more. Let me go ahead and pull up this graphic for you all and give you more of a visual. This is reported by NBC News. It says here that Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a bill recently that strikes gender identity from the state's civil rights law, making Iowa the first state to remove civil rights from a previously protected class. The bill passed the Republican majority state Senate 33-15 along party lines. Less than an hour later, the House passed its version of the bill 60-36, with 5 Republicans joining Democrats to vote against it. Now, Reynolds, a Republican, said recently that safeguards the rights of women and girls. She said the Civil Rights Code's protections against discrimination based on gender identity blurred the biological lines between the sexes, forced Iowa taxpayers to pay for gender reassignment surgeries. She also said here, we all agree that every Iowan, without exceptions, deserve respect and dignity. What this bill does accomplish is to strengthen protection for women and girls, and I believe that it is the right thing to do. Now, let me go ahead and kind of pause right there. So, I was just speaking with somebody earlier today that the world has lost its moral compass, right? We say all the time, home of the free. Now, you have folks that live, you have a community of individuals that are transgenders. There are folks that are anti, that are against the transgender community. And guess what? Some of those folks will cause harm to them. They did it in the past, or not in the past, they do it now. Discrimination crimes. We hear them all the time. Stop acting like it's foreign around here. It happens a lot. So when it comes to civil rights acts, you need every protection by all means to protect folks when it comes to you know, the hatred that exists in our world. See what I'm going with this? It says here that the Iowa Civil Rights Act broadly prohibits discrimination in many areas of life, including employment, housing, education, and credit. Now, look, you didn't hear anything that mentioned, as far as physical abuse. Now they're mentioning discrimination in the workplace, treated, when it comes to giving them, housing, education, credit. Like, this stuff exists, y'all. This stuff exists. And it's unfair, regardless of how your opinions towards the LGBTQ. That is unfair, and that's not right. So the fact of the matter is, once again, we see now under this new era, this new Republican Party, right? Rights are being taken. It says here that in 2007, the state legislature, which was then controlled by Democrats, passed a bill that extended those protections to LGBTQ people, adding sexual orientation and gender identity to the list of protected classes. So now this was in existence since 2007, a long time ago, but not too long ago, right? It will continue to be a conversation when it comes to the gender identity, right? Some can say that that's what caused Kamala Harris to lose the election, the presidential race, because the Republicans replayed an old video showing Kamala Harris, then vice president, at an event and talking about gender reassignment surgery on inmates, right? Even the push of transgender athletes, right? Transgender women playing in women's sports. It's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be a touchy subject. It's always gonna be really. I look at it as the kryptonite to the Democratic Party. The reason why I say that is because the majority Democratic voters too are not all for some of the views, some of the things that occur within the LGBTQ community. Right now, when you go to say the right's kryptonite was women's reproductive rights, but obviously it didn't hurt them on a federal level, on the presidential race, but it does affect them on state level issues. I mean, I could just speak for Virginia alone. The Virginia state Democrats really won the House and Senate. They won the majority off of women's reproductive rights. That was one of the big things that they really pushed. So they won off of that. But this is a bit, It's unfortunate. It really is, because again, I just feel as though that rights are being taken in front of our eyes. So that's why I put as far, hey, if you were transgender, don't move to Iowa, because you will not have any rights. If someone does discriminate against you in your workplace, in your in your environment, if they cause harm to you, there are no rights protecting you. And that's the big picture, y'all. That's to me the big picture. Everybody should be treated equal. If you are a born citizen, you should be treated equal like everybody else. But yet we don't have that exists in our world. We don't that does not occur in our society. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you can have your disagreements with the LGBTQ community and what the gender identity. You can have your disagreements, but in reality, those are still human beings. If they cut their finger, look, we all gonna have the same color blood. They should not lose rights if they're taxpayers, if they're born. I mean, it really blows my mind when I hear stuff like that. Let me see if there's anything else I want to add on to this. It says in the new law removes gender identity from the code. It also requires the birth certificates reflect a person's sex assigned at birth, and removes a clause that previously allowed a trans person to update the sex marker on their birth certificate if they had a notarized affidavit from a doctor and a surgeon attesting that they had medically transitioned. I'll break it down like this, because I have questions that's when it comes to the transgender movement, the gender identity, the changing of gender. I do have questions. I hope to have friends of mine from the LGBTQ community to answer, because I look at it like this. It should not be. How can I put this? I personally don't agree on the transgender athletes competing in the, say for example, like transgender women competing in women's sports. I'll be honest. I don't agree with that. And likewise, a man likewise the other way around. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's, because let's be honest, when we saw, I mean, we can go back to the collegiate swimmer when she transitioned, she started to dominate in the predominantly in the women's sports in swimming. We've seen stories involving athletes that transition that are playing basketball. I mean, it's just, we have to have common sense too, y'all. We have to have common sense. And we've heard, look, I've heard public figures who are transgenders that will say, no, I don't agree either when it comes to, I mean, I don't agree with her most of the time, but Caitlyn Jenner, right? Flame Monroe, she's a comedian. They both spoke to people from two different sides of the aisles, because Flame Monroe leans left, Caitlyn leans right. They both agreed on the transgender women playing in women's sports. That's unfair. That's an advantage, because biologically, and so I think that's where we have when it comes to the left, I think common sense in that aspect, they need to really, really speak on it, right? And it's not offensive to anybody, in my opinion, but I could be wrong, and that's why we hope to have members from the LGBTQ community. Hey, reach out, please. What am I saying that is wrong? What let's have the conversation, because I'm going to stand strong on my values and morals. and in my opinion on it. So I want to have that conversation with you. It says here, Democratic State Representative Amy, I cannot pronounce that last name. The first trans person elected in the state's General Assembly, said during the House debate, the bill revokes protection to our homes and our ability to access credit. Again, in other words, it derives us of our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. She's absolutely right, and that's where I agree. Rights are being taken. I think that's unfair, especially under the Iowa governor. But again, hey, look, you gotta look at them. You look at the majority right now. Republicans are in power on a federal level. She's like, hey, look, this is my chance to keep stay in office, to look good in front of my president. I mean, that's what they're doing. Rights are being taken in front of our very eyes. Let me go ahead and digress from this story, y'all, because I really want to. This is going to be a continuation because a story like this is never going to stop. This is never going to stop. But I'm going to digress and move it on to another story that I have on tap for you all. Next up, we have yours truly, Donald J. Trump plans to sign an executive order to make English the official U.S. language. Okay, so let me dissect and explain this a little more. Let me go ahead. Do I have a graphic for this one? I hope I do. Do I? Nope. Maybe. Here we go. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's go ahead and talk about what this will entail with this executive order. So it says here, the order would also resign a federal mandate issued by the former President Bill Clinton that agencies and other recipients of federal funding are required to provide language assistance to non-English speakers. The U.S. has never had a national language at the federal level in its almost 250-year history. So here's my question. Why now, Mr. President? 250-year history. Why now? Again, rights are being taken. Given the nation's long history of taking in immigrants from around the world, hundreds of languages are spoken in homes and businesses across the U.S. and Spanish in especially prevalent. Now, I look at having multiple cultures in the United States very like that's a win for us. Not only is it a win, but it's a plus. Oh, I can't get my words out today, man. My head is kind of been bothering me today. It is a bonus to have that because you have folks that are, we have people who are born speaking multiple languages. We have people that are people that are translators, right? It's nothing. It's to me. I see it pretty. I see it as a, again, 250-year history. Why change it now? Like, what is the motive? But see, all this is to benefit his base. Those who speak English. I don't know what you're saying. Speak English. I'm like, give me a break. Says here the move is also just the latest in series of symbolic nationalist executive orders, including the one renaming the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, in official government documents, and reverting the name of Denali, North America's highest mountain, to Mountain McKinley, swapping a Native American name for that of a former U.S. president. All these are rights. It's literally like you're just rewriting history. And it's funny when folks always ask me like, oh, this was dividing the country and this is bringing us back together. Bringing who back together? In my opinion, it's only benefiting one race. And one specific, I mean, that's just me. That's just me. So where is this? Like, I always get a chuckle when folks say that Donald Trump is a guy that brings people together and he's the one that puts an end to division. It just, it blows my mind. But you know what I've learned is just, why even waste my time? Why even waste talking with this person when I'm like, you're never gonna get anything through their skull. And they're always gonna have, hey, you're always gonna have your opinion. I always have mine. But in reality, it's like, okay, look, let's actually be smart here. I mean, changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, changing a mountain from a Native American to a former U.S. president, now making U.S. the official language. Like, I mean, he's just so pro America, 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 America. Let's see here. It says here, according to the Wall Street Journal, a White House summary of order, that goal of making English the national language was to promote unity. Okay. Establish efficiency in the government and provide a pathway to civic engagement. Agencies would still be allowed to provide documents and services in languages other than English under the order, which, hey, that's fair. That's fair. But would this, my question is this kind of almost a part? Is this a part of like the whole DEI initiative, right? Is this going to hurt someone that's trying to apply for something if they have, if English isn't their first language, right? Would corporations use that against them? Hey, English is the first language, so sorry, we're not going to be able to. If we really can't understand you, I'm not going to be able to do this job. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's interesting because once again, why now? After 250 years, why now? That's my big question. From after 250 years, why now? And after multiple not even in the past 8 to 16 years, why make it the first official language? I mean the official language of the U.S. Now, it says here, despite Trump and Republicans spending millions of dollars on the 2024 campaign trail to reach Latin American and Spanish speaking voters, the Trump administration took down the Spanish language version of the White House website almost immediately after taking office. Let me repeat that for the folks in the back that didn't hear. The Trump administration took down the Spanish language version of the White House website almost immediately after taking office. Sounds like somebody's trying to erase some folks. Let's see, any additions before I move it along. It says here, though, federal government has not recognized an official language up until this point. About 30 states have passed laws designating English as the official language. 30 states out of the 50. Okay, so a few of these states, such as Mississippi, New Hampshire, require their public schools to teach only English. Only English. Once again, I say it like this, y'all. We live in a universal world, in a melting pot, multi languages, multiple cultures. I love that's one thing why I love New York, y'all. I love New York City. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It is my favorite. It is my second home. It is my when I retire, I want to move to New York City. Seriously. Like, that's most folks will say, I want to live in, sunshiny state. I love New York City. I love the concrete jungles. I love the access to entertainment. I love the access to multiple restaurants. I love the access to multiple cultures. I love it. One thing I will say, and this is no shot to other states, I don't see a lot of obese people in New York City. Why? Because everybody always walking. Everybody always on the move. I don't be seeing no people struggling to get to one place or the other. Everybody's always on the move. I love it. But I love the fact that it has so much diverse in culture. You got Little Italy, you got Spanish Harlem, you got Chinatown. I mean, you have so many boroughs and areas that accept So many. And I just think that we have an administration that's really trying to purposely divide and segregate. I really do. The only thing he cares is about power and money. That man does not care about anybody but himself. And so the question is, what's going to be next? What will be next? What will be next coming from, not just on the federal level, but on a state level? Because as much as I speak about it here on the show, y'all, the importance of having an understanding on what goes on in your own backyard on the local level, all the way up to your state legislatures. Where do we go from here, y'all? And it's up to you all to do your own research. Read. Take a few minutes time, a few minutes a day. Read up on it. Know the different branches of government. Know what policies align with you. Know what benefits you when it comes to your okay. Look at your salary. What living classes that put you in? What affects you? Healthcare, you name it. Right now we're seeing so many of our veterans who are pissed with GOP members of Congress. People are frustrated. People who voted for the gross of the Republican Party, and then guess what? Now they're regretting it. But hey, you got to stick it to the Democrats too, because we're your contenders. And that leads me to our next story. But I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. But we're gonna continue this. We're gonna continue this narrative. We're gonna continue the story, keeping folks accountable, but also really dissecting these stories, man. I mean, it blows my mind when I see folks who are say they might not have been a US born, or they're they people from different cultures that are strong supporters of moments like this. I'm like, I don't understand. But let's go ahead, y'all. We're gonna take a commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We have a lot more show for you in store. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your friend, your homie Arrington Gavin. Look, let's get it going with our next story. So recently I had saw a video clip of Stephen A. Smith. He was sitting down with the ladies of The View, that show, that talk show. I guess it was political talk show now. You have Whoopi Goldberg, the EGOT winner. You have Joy Behar, you have Sarah Haynes. Who else? Let me try to remember all. Anna Navarro, Sunny Holston, and Alyssa Griffin. I think that's all. Anyway, The View is known as a show that is more left leaning. It tends to endorse mostly Democratic candidates, and they are anti-Trump, right? All right, so but they do have folks on the opposing end from time to time, and it gets very spicy. Okay, it gets spicy. But Stephen A. Smith is no guy that shies away from conversation, from debate. And recently he was on the shows just explaining like his take of like, current administration, what's going to be next for the Democratic Party. Like myself, I'm no critic of the Democratic Party, but it's more on the lines of what the hell are you doing kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not to speak on as I can't stand the Democratic Party, because look, I vote for Democratic candidates. I vote for Republican candidates. I vote for folks in my best interest. I'm, like I mentioned, socially liberal, fiscally conservative. The Democratic Party is struggling. All right, they're struggling. They have the part that ticks me off is that they have great people that can be good contenders, but they don't use them. They don't use them. The leadership right now is it cannot sustain and cannot go against the Republican Party. So that's what Stephen A. Smith kind of insinuates there. And so there's been moments where people have started the conversation. Well, why doesn't Stephen A. Smith run for office? Now, Stephen A. Smith, no stranger as far as this show, but he's never been a guest, but I speak about him from time to time pretty often. He is a executive producer and co-host of First Take. He's one of the highest paid names on ESPN. He also has his own show called The Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube and various podcast platforms. Very successful platform. I think he has well over 1 million followers. One of my mentors is serves as executive producer of that show. And shout out to Mr. McDonald. And so Stephen A. Smith has always been a controversial guy, but he practiced what he preaches. He shares his true opinion and does not hold back crap. So when the idea of him maybe being a presidential hopeful, let me just play you this soundbite and then we'll talk on the other end.
Know that in order to be the president of the United States of America, in terms of the criteria, all you had to do was meet three standards of criteria. You got to be a United States citizen, born in the United States of America. You got to be at least 35 years of age, and you need to have lived in the United States for the last 14 years. That's it. And then I watch some of these people speak on these issues. Forgive me, I kind of think I can do a better job. I just do. I mean, in terms of articulating at all. I'm just saying. Now, it just so happens that I live a pretty decent life. I think y'all all know that my salary is a little bit more than the president actually makes. Did y'all know that in order to be the president?
So I'm not gonna play the full length of that, but Stephen A. brings up an interesting point there, right? I obviously he shares that, hey, look, y'all probably know I make good money now. I'm enjoying what I do now. One thing about the getting involved in politics is a son of a you know what. Like it is one of the is one of the least enjoyable jobs. I respect anybody that is an elected official, local, state, federal level. For those who I know personally, God bless you. I pray for y'all every day because it is a very hard, is a very hard thing to do. And so it's just it just is, right? It ages you. We've seen Barack go in all black, smooth, smooth like like anybody else, and then he comes out freaking salt, all gray, white, stressed. You see what it did to Biden. Good Lord. But and Biden did another term. Psh, man, get out of here. Donald Trump, he keeps on trying to hold on to that tan, which it looks worse and worse every day. But I mean, it's a stressful job. But like Stephen A said, I've seen some of the candidates. I've seen what they're talking about. I could do this. And he's not lying. He's a professional debater, for one. Now, there's folks that struggle in debates that wins elections. There's folks that are successful debaters that lose elections. So you can take it however you want to, right? But Stephen A said, and he shared on The View, that he's like, look, anybody that I go up against, I'll beat them all. Now, look, way to be confident. But he brings up a point, because at first I'm like, come on, Stephen A, you got no political background, no nothing besides you being a political commentator, right? That's added into, because he's a journalist, but he's a commentator as well. He said, look, who do y'all have as contenders? Who? He's like, I'm here. The Democratic Party is here on the floor. You hear me? Who is going up against? Who are their contenders? And he's absolutely right. I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree, because when you look at it like this, and this is when I continue to repeat the whole strategy part. Y'all went up against a guy convicted on 34 counts, impeached twice, found liable in a sexual assault case, or a sexual harassment case. I mean, it's the worst of the worst, right? Everybody within his inner circle has either had to serve time or their careers had just crumbled. You touch them, everything is over, right? There is no benefits. But he still won, and guess what? He runs the Republican Party. He runs the majority. He won the Electoral College. He won the popular vote. Who cares about how much? Because it wasn't by a lot. But guess what? The man still won. So, like Stephen A. Smith said, who do y'all have as a contender? Okay, we all can say Wes Moore, because he's a very, very successful and popular face in the Democratic Party. A lot of folks will say Gavin Newsom out of California. I disagree with that. In my opinion, as being a contender, I don't see it. If he ran for president now, or if he was a replacement rather than Kamala Harris, I think we would have still saw the same outcome. I would not have seen Newsom. Me personally, I can't see it. California is a state that has its struggles, so I don't see how they would follow behind him. But like I said, Wes Moore, Ben Shapiro out of Pennsylvania governor. Not Ben Shapiro. What is his name? Josh Shapiro. Ben Shapiro for president. God help us all. But he's right. He's like, hey, look, y'all don't have anybody, so I probably would be able to win, and I most likely will. I doubt it. They had the last polling I saw, he had like 2% of folks said, okay, I'm voting for Stephen A. Smith, because hey, millions of people already, adore him, right? They get tens of millions of people that tune into the First Take. His YouTube channel alone, subscriber wise, has over 1 million subscribers. So that's not those who continue to tune into his videos and all that stuff. So he has a fan base. Pete Buttigieg, right? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Gretchen Whitmer. Those are some names that have been brought up as far as contenders. Gretchen Whitmore, nah. AOC could possibly. Now I know she's progressive, and a lot of the progressive values can kind of, well, when we say progressive values have hurt they've hurt the Democratic Party as far as getting along and uniting. I think progressive view, because you have a disconnect in the Democratic Party amongst, moderates, progressives, and far left leaning left wingers, right? Pete Buttigieg, he is a guy that is very knowledgeable, right? Great debater. But it will be difficult for him to gain votes being an openly gay man. I mean that's just I'm giving you facts. It will be difficult for him because he ran for president before. Why didn't he win it the first time? You see what I'm saying? This man was a mayor, and he became a huge contender. I mean, it shows the growth, and it shows how popular he really is. But could that win over the majority? Is what I'm trying to imply here. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, it will be iffy, but I just think she has a better chance than Governor Gretchen Whitmore. She's the governor of Michigan. Better chance than California governor. But Wes Moore right now, in my opinion, I think he's like the number one in the Democratic Party, in my honest opinion. Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she's another one. She is another one that is a really good contender. Why? Because she's not scared of going against face to face with the those who think they can just stomp over them. Right? She's the one that went face to face with Marjorie Taylor Greene. People that were kind of like intimidated by her. From the left, not Jasmine. Jasmine's not scared. Jasmine's the one that they always bring. Hey, Jasmine, can you fight for them? Like she's like the big sister that is gonna fight your bully. Okay. But going back to Stephen A. Smith, that man does not want to run for office, nor do I want to see him run for office, nor do I think it will help his career if he runs for office. It's all smoke and mirrors, but he brings up a valid point. The whole thing is Democratic Party, get your ish together, okay? Get your ish together and speak on common sense policies, stuff that can really be relatable to all people, and listen to the people. Don't just ignore what people are trying to tell you. That's what got y'all, messed up in the first place. Let's see right here. Let me digress from this. Doing good with time. Do I have more to? Let me go ahead and move it on to sports, and I might have one more story to share after that. But look, let's go on and move it on to sports because we are currently in the season of the NFL draft. As you know, Deion Sanders' son, Shadur Sanders, star quarterback from Colorado. He's also, prior to that, he was a star on the HBCU circuit at Jackson State, where they won 2 SWAC championships, 2 winning seasons, and then he transferred to Colorado and proved that he can play on a higher level. And I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome seeing the growth with him. One of his teammates won the Heisman, Travis Hunter, wide receiver. And did I mention he's the son of Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champ Deion Sanders? So lately, it shows that he has come across as being kind of arrogant, right? Here's my thing. Your coach prime son. Do we not remember Deion Sanders was arrogant, but guess what? He backed up that arrogancy. Like it's a way to be. There's confidence, overly confident, and then there's arrogance. Arrogance is folks that are people that lose, but that got a lot of mouth. But when you win and you can back it up, bro, you deserve to be arrogant in that case. But I think sometimes you have to play it safe when you haven't established a name in a professional football. Look, you made a name for yourself in college football, regardless of the competitive level and how much you're getting paid. You might be getting paid like you're a pro, but the level is still different, bro. The level is still gonna be different. Here's just one of a few words of what Shedeur Sanders had to say during one of the press conferences. Let me go ahead and play that soundbite for you.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say, what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are. If you ain't trying to change the franchise,
bro talks just like his daddy. All nothing but T. Y'all know my daddy. Yeah, y'all know my daddy. They did him wrong too, and he proved him wrong. Yeah, yeah. But no, I'm a huge fan of Deion Sanders. I've seen his son play, tremendous athlete. But I mean, hey, one coach called him out because here's the thing. I'm not a fan of arrogance. I'm not a fan of cocky people. I'm not. I'm like, okay, just continue to practice what you preach rather than just all the yap. Like if you talking all this cold cash, then you best be rookie of the year when you enter in the league. All right. Offensive rookie of the year. I don't know exactly which coach had called him out. But here's what was said. I am disappointed to hear that a quarterback's coach from hold on, that wasn't what did okay. This reporter, she said that I'm disappointed to hear that a quarterback's coach from a team drafting in the top 7 referred to Shedeur as coming off brash and arrogant in his team interview and oh shoot, let me do it. And lost my place. My bad, y'all. My bad. And making his assessment known to a number of people. That's a personal jab. That's literally like you're scolding this guy and you're saying, okay, look, he the worst. I wouldn't draft him out with you. I wouldn't draft him with you. Now he's sharing all that bad heat to all the squads. That's somebody that truly dislikes him and probably his father as well. I'm personally not naming the team as not to directly call the team out. I'm just sharing that this coach personal assessment is the direct opposite from how Sanders came across to many reporters in his press conference with the media at the combine. So that's all. All it takes is one hater. And they could really screw it up for him throughout the whole time, throughout his whole career. But let's hope for the best for this guy. I think he's sharp. I think it'll be interesting to see which team is going to draft him. Rumor had it at the time, hey, what if he goes to Dallas? What if he goes to Cleveland? What squads or New York, right? You got 2 organizations in New York, in the New York Jets and the New York Giants in need of a quarterback, right? The only squad in New York is the Buffalo Bills. They've always been set with theirs, but you don't know. I wouldn't say Pittsburgh because I think Fields is going to be pretty solid out there. That's if they keep Russell, but I don't think they're keeping Russell either. It will be interesting to see what squad is going to draft Shedeur. But hey, he's coachable. He's an athlete. I just hope and pray. I don't want him to be a repeat like his father, but I again, being a Sanders is very on brand to do that, right? He already has a right, right now. But I don't know. We will see. It's very interesting, but it does bring the conversation on, what's your take on if you have the opportunity like Shedeur, right? Would you be in the talent level? Would you be arrogant or would you have the more arrogant, cocky or personality, or would you just say, let me just stay poised, let me just let my actions do all the talking, and I'm just gonna I'm not gonna say, because in all honesty, look at Look at what's my boy name? Saquon Barkley. Saquon is as a not really a social person like that. Quarterback for Philly. Jalen Hurts. I mean, you see guys that are not as, I mean, they answer questions from reporters, but they don't come across as cocky or arrogant, or like they don't ooze that overconfidence. Say like a Cam Newton. Cam Newton was like that. Let me see. I mean, look at Terrell Owens was like that, but see, he backed it up. But it did affect his I think it affected his career. I mean, look, he was the first Hall of Famer to have his Hall of Fame ceremony not in Canton, Ohio. Like so many folks hated when he did that. Some appreciate it, but most was like, I really don't appreciate it. It's like the tradition was always to have it in Canton. This man has it at his alma mater. Why? Because he wanted as much time as it is just to give him all the because it's all about TO. He wanted a TO day. He wanted that Terrell Owens experience. He's like, I want everybody to say good things about me. I want the party and this be about me. I mean, it was too much in my opinion. It was too much, but I'm still a huge fan. So, don't hate me, TO, don't hate me. But yeah, we will continue to read up more on Shador's future in the draft. Folks are saying that his, being that those words were shared, even seeing that interview or seeing him answer to reporters is bringing down his stock value. I doubt it, because at the end of the day, you have to realize what the benefits of being a quarterback of the, your star wide receiver won the Heisman. That still brings a lot. And like I said, you're the son of a Hall of Famer, Deion Sanders, prime time. You are in a great spot right now. So all he's doing is just having fun, ignoring all the outside noise. And it's like, all right, I'll prove you wrong. I will prove y'all wrong. But I will be the one laughing. Not all my haters. I'm going to be the one getting the last laugh. And as I mentioned, he's a chip of the old block. Deion Sanders was that guy. Deion Sanders was I think played 14 years in the NFL, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 2 pro sport athlete. I think he spent close to 8 years in the major leagues while he was still playing in the NFL. He would go from one game to the other. No one could do it like Deion. He then went on to have a successful career as a commentator. He has a show on Tubi right now. He's a successful football coach. I mean, the Sander family is winning right now. You hear me? They are winning. Oh, is it about that time, y'all? Well, look, it's always hard, to continue on the conversation when you're having so much fun and you only have 1 hour. As always, my friends, thank you so much for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to tune in regularly on through YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. You can also download the GOATverse TV app. It's free on the App Store as well as on the Google Play Store and also on Roku and Amazon Fire. I truly appreciate it. I will see y'all next time. Peace and blessings. Y'all stay safe out there, and I will be talking to y'all very soon. Peace. I'm out.